Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video. And I'll be reacting to The Mystery of the Druids, a bizarre adventure game. This is a request from, I think it was Onyx Hope. This is from the channel Mandalore Gaming, so I'll put a link in the description down below so you can go check them out. And Alpha Shaka, I saw your comment. Oh, I did look at was Balthazar's Guild speech, and I think I know what joke or what you're talking about. It's probably the one talking about milking something. So that might be the one. That's the only one that I could think that would probably make a good joke. But anyway, I'm gonna be breathing kind of hard doing this because I decided to go for a run outside, something that I haven't done since last year. I haven't even ran since last year. And so it's gonna be some heavy breathing. I mean, I breathe heavy anyway, but you may hear some like. So, hey, just be prepared for, because I literally just got done running and I took a shower, so I'm sweating bullets, even though it's like 64 degrees. Well, outside anyway. Anyway, I was gonna say something else. So was I? Did I say it? Let's get into this. Cause this is like over an hour long. Yeah, hour and like, was it 14 minutes? So, all right, here we.
You may have seen this image before. It's the cover for The Mystery of the Druids. It's a
What
2001
is this?
adventure game, and this face, well, that's
Doom,
just the
doom,
beginning.
doom, doom, doom. Rum, 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 rum. Oh yeah, never heard this game. I know of
This was a long time coming.
was it
A while back, I talked about
Warhammer,
Limbo of the
but I've
Lost,
never
and
played
honestly,
it.
my brain still doesn't let me accept
Oh
that it
yeah,
was real.
that
However, that's a game that's insane right from the get-go.
That
You know you're in
game.
for a ride from the very beginning.
I still
Many
don't
adventure games are
think
like
that the
but this one
developers
is
took that game
deceptive.
seriously.
Because sure, you have Screaming Druid cover, which has been a joke for like, what, 20 years now? It is funny, but it's also
Is that what
overshadowed
that's
the game
from?
itself. On Steam, it's mostly negative, but that could be because no one there can actually run the damn thing. And neither can I, because like the review said, I crash constantly and it freezes up. Luckily, GOG released a fixed version a few years back. The wording was a little strange, but they seem to be big fans of the game. Really big fans. I mean, look who was QAing it. And the second they found out I was doing this, they put it on an absurd discount and the page is all weird and... Okay, look, before all this, something seemed odd about it. So like Limbo of the Lost, I'm here to take you on a journey. After all, a cosmic horror hiding under something innocuous is perfect for Halloween. It has Dolby Surround plastered all over it too, so look forward to some great audio. In fact, some of you have been looking forward to this a little too much. So now I'll skip past the credits and begin the descent.
This look too similar to a clan rally. I don't like this. Is the Undertaker about to come out? What's going on here? Anybody? Oh, come on. Child sacrifice. That is so last century. Everybody got the glow. Oh, I was like, those torches coming from us. Oh, those are people spontaneously combusting.
Okay, you got all that? We're then taken to the Scotland
Yeah.
Yard where we meet our hero and his boss.
So
it's not clear
they
yet what
didn't
the Druids have to do
sacrifice
with
the
anything,
babies?
but I guess that's the mystery.
Now look here, Detective
Oh,
Harrigan.
we go.
I'm
The
not used to being
stereotypical
surrounded by a bunch of incompetent, half-baked
asshole
blockheads,
yelling
but your smart,
police
well-dressed
chief
colleague Lowry
or
has just
captain.
earned himself the golden badge of stupidity.
But you know you're not supposed to smoke in here, right?
Halligan, we've got a bit of a problem.
To save some exposition time, your coworker Lowry has thrown an innocent man in jail for murder. Said man was then murdered in jail, and the real killer is still on the loose. So now Detective Halligan is taking over, and the chief seems furious about it. Why does he hate Halligan so much?
There's no point in asking you to clear up anything more than a common bicycle theft. But this does happen to be the murder squad. I am the chief of this department. All I have for choice is that blockhead Lowry. You.
Well, thanks for the compliment. Just like,
Okay, Chief. What do you want me to do?
And so
Ooh.
it begins. The first
That was
thing
some
Chief
great
Miller does is
acting.
chastise you for not knowing Lowry's case file. This is actually a readable document. It's a PDF for the GOG version, but the physical game came with one. It's all pretty irrelevant, it just tells you that Lowry's an asshole and he got the wrong guy. We knew that already. Halligan, however,
that's in the
is
report
struggling.
that he's
Well,
an
all right,
asshole.
these things happen. But how do you know that the man Lowry arrested didn't commit the murders?
Very simple. Dead people don't go around committing more murders. No sloppiness now. I want results. Sensible results. The press has already been terrorizing me this morning. The killer must be found. Do I make myself clear?
Of course, Chief.
From here, you
Well,
probably
you know, I
control
was
Halligan,
going
and
to
it looks like your
half-ass
standard
it,
adventure
but
game
since she
thing.
said
You can click on
that
random items
the
to get
killer
more
has to be
information, and
found.
also click on Miller again to hear more about
I
the
guess
case,
I'll give him
because
my full
Halligan seems
effort.
clueless.
Halligan, it's well known that you'd rather read those crazy books of yours during office hours than taking any real interest in the affairs of this department. But it would now appear that you've even stopped reading the newspapers as well. For months now, a killer's been running around in London, taking victims apart and leaving nothing
What is
but
that
bones for us
music?
to find. You can read about it in any newspaper.
We now have confirmation that a super Zodiac killer was running around, and we're now playing a cop who had no idea about it.
Super
But he has
Zodiac
excuses for
killer?
that.
I don't pay too much attention to what the papers say.
From here, you can move around and explore the station. Halligan's office seems like a good place to start, and it looks like a bomb went off. And the decor is... what?
God save the Queen. Even if she's wearing a really ugly green suit.
Okay. We also learn Halligan's a recovering smoker. That doesn't seem crazy for his job until we find out he's been smoking a carton a week. That's 28
Damn.
cigarettes every day on average. Things only get stranger.
Good to know that there are intelligent life forms out there. In here, I only meet weirdos like Detective Lowry.
Well, that's what the chief meant by insane books, since apparently Halligan's been studying crop circles, along with other conspiracies.
John Sinclair, Ghost Hunter. My favorite book. Unfortunately, there's no pizza in there anymore.
Pizza?
Al's Pizza Palace makes the best pizza in
Pizza.
the whole of London.
Okay, English viewers, have you ever heard anyone there natively say pizza? I'm going to guess no, because this is a German game. The thing is, it's really the only word that gets mangled like this. The voice director out there had to be
Pizza.
insisting on pizza. The other word that get weird sometimes is, ironically, druid. Sometimes they're druid. This is the mystery of the druids. Anyhow, Halligan
I've
grabs
heard that
essentials like apple
druids,
juice, a scarf he
druids.
stole from a coworker he likes, and with each moment it becomes more terrifyingly clear why Miller did not want Halligan on the case.
The cleaner will empty the ashtray.
The chief had been going on about just how much
Sheesh.
Lowry screwed up the case, so let's pay him a visit. Now we
Can't
can...
even clean his own damn office. Wow, this dude. Why, just every detective just had their own office?
Why is there droning ambient music? Why is he floating like Vivek? I know the obvious answer is it's some kind of bug, but it's not that simple. If I go on the store page for the game, it's a featured screenshot. These are created by, or at least approved by, developers. In other words,
guess
this
they
is
were
the word
like,
of God,
"Fuck
this
it."
is how it's meant to be played. Images of him in the chair are either fake or some kind of copy protection. The game has barely begun, and I am already so full of questions. What is Lowry's purpose here?
Hello, Lowry.
Oh no, not you, Halligan. You're all I need at the moment.
That's a nice suit you're wearing.
Don't humor me, Halligan. You don't know a thing about suits. A blind man would know from 100 yards away that you bought your stuff at Woolworths. What do you want?
He can still say that's a nice suit.
Just a quick
So
question.
because he
Lowry.
doesn't know suits, I mean,
You
he
see my
can't
wallet?
admire your
Wallet?
suit.
You've got a nerve. I
Asshole.
haven't really had a very pleasant day so far, as you
Fuck
might have
your
noticed.
day.
Why would I worry about your bloody wallet?
Larry, could you just
You
give me
can
a
literally
sensible
float
answer?
in the air.
I'm looking for my wallet.
You're literally an
So
X-Man.
what? You think I've got it? Why don't you just go and clear up your oh-so-tidy office? Maybe you'll find some of those things you allegedly just wanted to borrow for a while.
Let's not argue, Larry. I need some information from you about the last investigations.
You've got the file, Halligan. I suppose you can read. And now scram.
Larry, I've read your file. There's just nonsense in it.
You know what I think, Halligan? I think I don't need to tolerate a detective in a 20-pound suit walking past my door criticizing the quality of my work.
If my suit was more expensive, Would that make your file any better?
Very
Ooh.
witty, detective. Yes, really, very witty. Tell me, haven't you got anything better to
This
do
is
than
so much
crack
better
jokes?
Thank you for being
because
so
there's
very
a British
friendly,
accent.
Lowry. Enjoy your spare time.
Lowry.
Just clear off, Halligan.
I've got to
Just
say, besides
jog
the whole
on.
pizza thing, the voice acting and direction is really excellent. You've barely talked and you can already feel
Yeah, that
the
was
history
actually
of the
pretty
rivalry.
good.
You can mess around in his office for a bit and learn more about how Halligan views
Just
the
turn
world.
his fist. So you just be a dick in
He's
his
got
office.
Books? They're probably just for show, meant to impress the ladies.
Speaking of ladies, there
He
is
has
one
a lot
in
of
the office you can
ladies
talk to,
that
the one who
work in
Halligan
his
has her
office?
scarf for some reason. You can't actually return it to her yet, but I think her neck has bigger problems. It turns out Halligan is mainly on his own and is locked out from the police information database. This is strange, but you can investigate it further. I've been abridging it, but there are several conversation options you could try out when you're talking to people, and even go back and replay the game to try new ones. In the case of Janet here, you have the option of screaming at her.
Damn bureaucracy. I need to make an inquiry, Janet, right now.
If you start shouting at me, I shall see the chief before you can count to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Naturally, from here Halligan can start hitting on her. He does as well as you'd expect by now, but
Okay.
you also get a
So
glimpse of just
start
how
you start
unself-aware
yelling at her,
Halligan
then
is.
start
Listen,
hitting on her.
Red, I don't feel like going to a
That's how
stinky
you
cheap
flirt
pub,
with people.
drinking watery beer and talking about darts, pizzas, and aliens.
That sounds completely fair, even off the little we know. His office is full of pizza and aliens, but does he roll with it?
Janet, what's up? Has Lowry been talking nonsense about me again?
No, Halligan, and he doesn't need to either. You talk enough of it yourself. And now, please be good enough to let me carry on with my job, okay?
I understand. Lowry has been talking about me, and you believe every
Oh,
word.
sheesh,
I
dude.
believe only what I see, Detective Halligan. And right now, I can see a man right in front of my desk who is wasting my time.
The chief also confirms
Sheesh.
Halligan has been locked out of the database for his own good. He darkly alludes to
Working.
some business with the royal family, but doesn't go into
Like
detail.
everyone's
Only
being an
that it caused
asshole to
weeks of
everybody
national
else.
chaos, so maybe we'll find out more later.
But he did come
You
up
can
and
stick
yell
around
at
a
her,
lot
so.
longer, but I've had my fill of office
mean,
politics.
what
for the moment.
reaction did you
So it's off to
expect?
the latest crime scene in Epping Forest. We get new creepy ambient music.
This almost feels like
The
a
crime appears to be another one of
English
the infamous
version
skeleton murders.
of,
Just like the chief said, there's nothing but bones. Halligan probes the on-site officers, but they don't know anything. No forensic
Deadly
evidence besides the
Premonition, which is
bones,
funny
and no
'cause that's a
witnesses. So from here,
Japanese
all you can really do is
game
poke around in the bones.
that's
On a
made-
meta level, it's also the first clue of what
it's supposed
the
to be
puzzle
made like
gameplay will
in
be
the
like.
That is no important
or like in the
evidence, I'm
specific
sure about that.
You need to
northwest
bag the
of the
correct
United
bone.
States or
Can you
something.
tell yet? Well, it's a
And
big
this
theme
is
we're
a
off to
German
play.
game,
It's not too bad. Could be worse.
but it's
like
supposed
those
to
dark
take
grass you
place
can also
in
pick up. If there was any
England.
doubt, now the player knows for sure that pixel hunting is on the menu. That's all that can really be done here, so back to the yard.
What is it, German developers?
Time to bring the evidence down to forensics.
What do you think about this?
This is grass, Halligan.
You don't learn much beyond the grass is slightly burnt. I'm saving you a lot of speculation.
Can bones get that hot in the sun?
The femur is significant, but forensics can't find anything on it that's helpful. You're then directed to visit a Dr. Turner at the Oxford Anthropology Museum. I've got to say, we do have the groundwork for a great game here. People being vaporized into skeletons is silly, but it is a compelling mystery. We've also got solid, well-voiced acted characters to work with. So far, my biggest drawback is just how ugly everything is. The characters don't look awful in the 2D
Just remind me
backgrounds or
of,
something like that, but everything's been very drab
old
so
dude
far.
from
Thinking back 4 years,
Man in
the regular
Black
Blade
1.
Runner game is wearing a near identical wardrobe to
He was
Halligan.
trying using
The
that truck.
animation
He's
has
like,
infinitely more life to it, and the
like,
backgrounds are so
his
rich.
bones.
Halligan runs like there's something wrong with him, and there's not much to the background yet. Oh well. Maybe someone else can fill us in on the database issue.
I know that you'll say no, but I have to ask for your help.
You do actually need help, Halligan. But not from me. Try a social worker. Well,
I didn't see any inquiry results from the information department in your file. Is that right?
of course, thanks to these bloody new security regulations, which were introduced thanks to you, Halligan. If you hadn't gone and put an arrest warrant for Prince Charles in the computer after Princess Di's accident, we wouldn't be in
Oh
this
shit!
mess.
Wow, they
That was
brought
just
that up.
an innocent joke.
Innocent, yeah.
Jesus, Halligan sure has a thing with the royal family, huh? Well, it's off to the museum to meet Dr. Turner, and it's closed. So that sucks, but looking around might yield some answers. There is a payphone on the right side of the museum, but Halligan's wallet is still missing and he has no money. It's no big deal since there are plenty of phones back at the office anyhow. Seems odd to have it though. Taking a look at the other side, there's a hobo begging for money. He barely has anything, but he's still richer than Halligan at the moment. It's apparent the beggar's been living a hard life.
I've lost everything. Everything. No money, no flat, no future.
Beggar with no
I'm
hope.
finished. Simply finished.
Have you tried working?
Listen, mate. You want trouble.
Have you
Long story short,
tried
he hasn't seen Dr.
not
Turner.
being
You can try
poor?
to barter for his change or outright steal it, but that's not happening.
What was that
Instead, you
chick?
can
Oh, I
steal
think
his extra
TikTok's
flask.
like,
So
if
it's back to the
if you're
office to use the
homeless,
phone.
then just
I
buy a
don't use the
house.
receiver. That thing is just too heavy. Using the loudspeaker is
It's
much
like, oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. Okay, I'll do that. If I can actually find it.
It's
Oh.
like they say down south, bless they heart.
Oh Christ, it's a puzzle. Well, your phone is a no-go. Halligan was making tons of long-distance international calls for no apparent reason, so the department cut him off from making outgoing calls. Now the adventure really begins. No one in the office lets Halligan use their phone. Since he calls the Caribbean for no goddamn reason, I think this is justified. But it does make me
Caribbean.
want... Oh.
Ooh.
But it does make me wonder
Instant
what he was doing.
transmission?
No one gives Halligan change either. He owes gambling debts to every single person in the office except for Lowry.
Did you lend me some change?
Sheesh.
Your wallet, have you? Well, sorry, Halligan, but this is Scotland Yard, not the Bank of England.
The Bank of England is the central clearing bank, Lowry. You can't draw any money there.
Indeed. Just try it somewhere else then. You won't get a penny from me.
I don't even know why I bothered trying. I dig around the Scotland Yard for change, but I don't find any. Instead, I find bottles in the lab I can dust off and some fingerprint powder. It's not a pixel hunt, but it doesn't stick out either. Halligan notices they have bottles of medical ethanol and immediately gets jealous.
You've got a great job, Chris.
Nonsense, Halligan. Do you think we spend all day getting drunk with medical alcohol? Why don't you just try the stuff?
Bet taken. How will it go?
All right.
Wow,
here we go.
really?
Cheers.
You just drinking on duty. Ethanol.
To your health, Brent.
An interesting aroma, isn't it? Brent, aren't you feeling very well? Brent,
Why would you drink that?
okay?
Wow. I'm really starting to question this dude's investigative skills. Like, what? No wonder your boss didn't want him to have this case. It's like, is he like on tenure or something? Or he can't get
Now
fired
you
or
can dust for
something? What
fingerprints
the-
to show you the bottle that he said he was going to take is the one that has prints on it. I guess he's just being cautious? Then Halligan mixes it with apple juice. Halligan has poison now. Where is this going? Oh no.
I've got
What?
something for you.
Oh my
Apple Schnapps from Detective Halligan's home distillery. My own brand. Would you like to have a taste?
You serious? All right, pal. I'm as dry as the bottom of a parrot's cage.
Why don't you drink it all? I don't mind. And it's a cracker, I can tell you.
Cheers.
Wow.
Cheers.
You are a piece of shit. You just poison a homeless person. They don't have enough problems.
This kills him instantly. Now you can rob the dead hobo for pocket change. Halligan has crossed the line here. I can safely say that looking at this cover, I did not expect poisoning the homeless to be a central plot point. But here we are.
What the
Admittedly,
fuck?
most adventure game protagonists are huge dicks. It feels weird in this case because everything has been so grounded up to this point. Then again, the poisoning itself was grounded too. It wasn't a magic sleeping potion, it was a lethal dose of alcohol. This is the point where I became fully committed to the game. Not only is Halligan weird, but he
This
seems
was
to
the
have no
point.
regard for human life.
He's like, oh, I
have
could
no
kill
clue what he's
people.
capable of now. Anything, really.
I'm playing with a
Halligan
complete
puts his
piece
sick
of
boot
shit.
drops
This
into the
is
phone
where it
and can
gets
finally call the
interesting.
museum. The woman the late beggar mentioned answers it.
Who are you? And why are you calling from a phone booth outside the museum? Has something happened in the street? Has the beggar been attacked again?
Who? The beggar? Oh, no. Well, not exactly. It's a long story, and I doubt.
Oh,
you'd be
no, he's
interested.
dead.
I just wanted,
She
He
rightfully
killed
hangs up.
himself.
Stuck again. So it's back to the yard for answers. It turns out the woman is Dr. Turner's daughter.
I mean, they could
Dr.
just dust the
Melanie Turner.
prints off
She didn't want
that
to talk
flask he
because
gave
didn't
him
know
and
her
see his
first name like
fingerprints
some
on
kind
it.
of mythological creature. Now I could go right
And
back
it,
to the
it,
phone,
and it'll
but
take
only
an
the office.
idiot
How about some
to
more
put
hostile
two and two
conversations?
together.
Turns out
But
Larry had a
these
date with
people,
Janet.
if
I'd really like to
if
know
this
how
is the
I
quality of
ran out
detectives
you
they
managed to
have at
get a
Scotland
date
Yard,
with Janet.
then
Well, you know what, Halligan?
I'm not worried
Do
about
like it
anybody
when they
catching
don't
him.
Okay, I need to talk about Lowry more. Him floating above his chair adds so much to all these conversations. Even though he's in the background, if Lowry was sitting in his chair, Halligan would be towering over him. Instead, he floats above his chair and their gazes meet. Now, it could be a metaphor, and this is just how Halligan views Lowry. His social status is so far beyond him that he's basically floating. Halligan's a monkey looking at a monolith. He just can't comprehend it. Lowry just lords his superiority over him. This frame by itself says so much, and it's safe to say it hasn't gone unnoticed. Lowry awakens something in certain people that I still don't understand. It could be the rivalry aspect, I've seen a lot of manga renditions, but then there are so many crossovers and things get strange and abstract. It doesn't even seem like I learned anything, I just feel more afraid of the world. Anyway, back to Oxford.
The bone is from the body of one of the victims of the skeleton murders. I take it you've read about them?
Oh, good heavens, yes. What can I do for you?
Couldn't we discuss that inside?
Certainly. Come on over. I'll let you in.
Finally, Halligan meets Dr. Melanie Turner.
Ooh,
Her father
love
is away on a
interest?
trip, and she's worried to answer
With
the
the
phone
size
when
of
she
them
gets these
titties, she
calls.
must be a love
Halligan
interest.
doesn't bring up the dead beggar. It's not a big surprise. Typically, adventure games hope you forget stuff like that. Getting Melanie's help at all was an excellent idea. So far, she's the first character not to be openly hostile or dismissive towards Halligan. She's so much better that you actually play as her for this little section. The background is way more interesting than anything I've seen so far. Being able to use tools to investigate instead of just arguing with people is a nice change of pace. She finds gold embedded
that's
in
what
a mark in
cops
the
do,
bone
they
that
just
matches the
argue with
markup
people.
to a sickle.
Duh.
And studying a magazine gives us the answer we've been waiting for.
According to the historian Arthur Blake, the Britannic Druids carried out very bloody sacrificial rites. He found out that such rites took place at major celebrations of the Celts. He assumes that consecrated golden sickles were used for those rites.
And how does he know about these things?
He learned about it from old inscriptions he's translating at the moment. Interesting, huh?
Celts? Druids? Quite some time has passed since then, hasn't it?
Of course, but the descriptions in the article absolutely match the findings on your bone, Mr. Halligan. I'm sure the author of the article can help you.
It's a long shot, but it's the best lead so far. Melanie's an expert on ritual sacrifice, so she's a godsend. So of course, Halligan tells her that he thinks it's weird for a girl to know about that. No choice but to visit Arthur.
Oh,
Blake
of
to
course
do
he's
that.
sexist. It's weird that you know about this, this thing that is your job.
It says Blake.
Women don't know about stuff like that. That's a man's thing.
I'm a detective from Scotland Yard. I have a few questions I need to ask you.
Like, get out of my
What's
office.
this about? Is something wrong?
He kind of sounds like a bassier Howard Stern. His office is nice, and he clearly parties. There's a lot you can interact with for fun, including...
An oil
Oh, that was in it. I was like,
quite to my taste.
It can't
because I
be.
thought that was a tractor trailer tires bus.
As it
I
turns
live
out,
near
Melanie
a,
wasn't kidding when she said
an
Blake was an
expressway.
expert. If you keep asking questions, he will go on about Druid
Your
lore
tires
for
blow,
over
it sound like
20
a
minutes.
bomb
So I'm
went
going to go
off.
ahead and abridge the absolute hell out of that. Blake explains what happened in the first cutscene of the game.
It says that the last of the Druids saw the fall of their priesthood coming in the year 1000 AD. In the confusion surrounding the final destruction of the Order, a demonic superior Druid seized power, using his knowledge of Druid magic, not for the good of his people, and to honor the gods.
Oh, that's why they
but
got
to
set on
submit
fire.
all of mankind to his rule. In order to secure the survival of the Druid's tradition, and to complete his devilish work, he organized a final ritual, transferring the knowledge and power of the last of the Druids to 5 infants. These infants have always been referred to as the inheritors.
Go on.
The Druids' inheritors require the life force of other people to complete the ritual.
I see. And how do they do that?
According to legend, the flesh has to be cut off the bones of living humans and to be eaten. Only then can their
Sheesh.
life force be transferred.
You mean the victims of these skeleton murders were practically
Didn't the
eaten
Aztecs
alive
do something
by
like that?
cannibals?
By Druids. Yes.
I don't
They
believe it.
cannibals.
The worst is yet to come, Mr. Halligan.
These are by
What?
cannibals, by
Possibly
druids.
be worse than that.
If such skeletons have been found in London, bearing marks of a golden sickle, it can only mean one thing. The inheritors are preparing for the perfection of their final ritual.
Which means?
The myth says, once the ritual has been completed, the world will become a place governed by evil. Dark magic will be unleashed upon the world, and mankind will have but one choice: to obey or to die.
Okay, that's a lot. The stakes have risen somewhere into the goddamn stratosphere if they're true, and of course Halligan believes it. Blake explains that to complete
Of
the
course he
ritual,
is. He's
we'll need an
basically
item called the
Mulder.
Amulet of Transformation. Shockingly, Halligan does
Molder
want
of
to see
Scotland
proof.
Yard.
Yep, there it is. Must be true. It's easy for your eyes to glaze over with a war dump like this, but I did notice the "why are you in a wheelchair" question is almost always available.
Wow.
It's like Halligan is barely paying attention.
'Cause
and
my
just
legs
really,
don't work,
really wants to
ass.
know why he's in a wheelchair. The answer is the Druids, because it's always the Druids. Blake heavily implies he was attacked by them at a book signing. This could be more common in England than I think. Maybe a Druid hit JK rolling over the head with a blackjack or something. It was probably before the 4th Harry Potter book. Oh, wow, yeah, don't write about Druids, everybody. They don't like that. So Blake sends Halligan off to France to try and find the amulet. This moment marks the beginning of the Salt arc. It's the deadliest in the game, and you'll soon see why. You save for sure before
The
this.
fuck?
It may look and sound pleasant, but I've legitimately had nightmares about this screen.
Hello, Captain.
Bonjour.
How are you?
Right.
Not being very talkative.
No.
Oh, well, thanks for the conversation.
You're welcome.
Well, that was enlightening.
I
So
like
let's try the
him.
fisherman.
I like
I
him.
like your fishing rod.
What's he like?
Yes, nice, isn't it? It's an enhanced
Everybody do that.
telescope ultralight 47.
Or anybody sitting down.
Man, he loves that fishing rod. The fisherman has a lot more to say and confirms there's a ruined ancient castle in the area. So Halligan runs off to the castle and you have failed the salt art. If you leave, there's a good chance you've soft-locked yourself. I'm not even sure that going to the castle causes it. For a while I even thought that not picking up the burnt grass could cause it. I don't think that anymore, but I still have no clue. This is your home until you figure out what to do. The answer to that is you keep talking to the fisherman until he tells you the captain's name. Addressing the captain by his full
poor
name is
game
the only way
design.
he'll talk to people. Didn't that just happen? Why is this happening again? It could be an old German custom. Maybe if you knew a guard's full name in the Holy Roman Empire, they let you buy the Tollbooth Castle for free. Or the developers just want to make life harder.
Capitaine Charles de Neuve, aren't you?
Yes, that is correct, my boy.
Oh, he's a lot more talkative now.
The Merchant Navy of
He's,
France.
oh, you
How
know
do you
me.
know my name?
I've been talking to a friend of yours, the fisherman over there at the jetty.
Pierre? Ah, yes. Old Pierre.
Now it's the opposite problem where the captain never stops talking. He'll tell batshit stories, but keep him going.
He won't
Don't you dare let
shut
him
up.
stop. Not until he tells you about the Druids.
Around 1000
How does everybody know
AD,
about these
Druids
fucking
came.
druids?
You've heard of the Druids, I take it?
Oh, yes. Quite a lot, in fact. Go on. Where did these druids come from?
They were the last of the Druids from Britain.
Really?
Yes, really, my boy. One day, a salt seller by the name of Gergen came to the castle of Carmor and asked the evil lord for a drink of water. But the lord set his dogs on the man.
Go on.
Out of revenge for the lord's cruelty, Gergen hurled a handful of salt at the castle, which tumbled down immediately, burying the lord beneath it.
But why?
It was an ancient druid curse.
That's fine, but that opens more questions.
Yeah, you just throw salt at a building. Yeah, and the whole castle just
Through the
collapses.
magic of the Druids.
I hate
Do the
having
magic
to
of
explain
make
so much.
believe.
That's salt.
Okay, there's salt in the boat, so how do we get that? Something needs to reach it like a fishing rod. The
Oh,
fisherman loves
God.
it so much that he won't even let Halligan borrow it. So Halligan starts probing for weaknesses.
The captain has a cat.
Yes. He lets her out here on the jetty in the morning and takes her back in at night. And the damned beast spends all day slinking around here.
You don't like cats?
I hate cats. They steal the fish from my bucket or get tangled up in my fishing line.
That's all you need. If the cat now appears, you're good. If it doesn't show up, you need to repeat the ritual. More stories for you. So what you do here is,
It's called a fucking waiting puzzle.
yeah, it's a waiting puzzle. Okay, here's how to do it. Creepily lie in wait until you can properly ambush the cat. Use Janet's scarf. She'll never get it back at this point.
Captain de Neuve's cat. A rather stubborn beast, and on top of that, it has fleas as well.
Halligan then unleashes it on the fisherman to knock his bait in the water. This puts the idyllic fishing visit on hold.
It's that damn cat again. She's knocked all my bait in the water. That's the third time this week.
Calm down. You can always get some new baits.
What about my fishing tackle? What about my telescope ultralight 47?
Okay, dude, calm the fuck down. He's one of those people who like way too passionate about fishing. Like, relax, dude.
Don't worry, Pierre. I'll keep an eye on your things.
Would you?
Of course.
Even though I just asked to borrow it and you said no, then all of a sudden the cat shows up, knock your bait out, and I said, hey, just go get some more.
Yeah, Halligan straight up robs
I'll
the
watch
gear.
your stuff
He
for
scrapes
you.
the salt off the boat and never returns the ultralight fishing rod. I've legitimately had a nightmare about that fisherman at the end of a long, dark tunnel. Who knows what he could have caught with such an amazing rod?
Why don't you just go buy salt?
It looks like this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He don't need money.
Now you go to the castle.
The fuck was that? The fuck is going on?
Yeah, this seems right. You'll find 2 items in the castle, Jack and shit. So check the cemetery next door, using the useless case file to open up the gate. Maybe the captain
I
should
haven't
give out a
said
key
that
instead.
in a
It's a
while.
big cemetery with a lot to explore, but Halligan is also being watched. I
Jack
prefer
and
to
shit.
hurry. I was wandering here for a while because it's not clear what to do. It's actually simple, you just need to inspect a certain grave. If it's hollow at the top, it's good to go. The next step is obvious. Take the salt from the boat and then crush it up with the victim's bone from earlier. You know, I did toy with the idea of having a Halligan crime counter, but I'm not a lawyer or anything. This also isn't taking place in my country. Still, Halligan is using forensic evidence to crush up salt in a cemetery. I think most countries would call that perversion of justice. Anyhow, the next step is clear.
Wow. Wait.
It seems to have worked.
Why would that work for
Yeah,
Halligan?
why would
that work at all? He's not a
He's not a druid.
The magic of the druids.
Fine. Get the medallion, leave the mausoleum.
Is
Salt Ark
is
over.
Halligan a
Unfortunately,
druid?
on the ferry
And he
ride
doesn't
back,
know it?
Halligan wants to chase seagulls up on the deck or something. So he looks around, finds a good hiding spot, and then leaves to do whatever he does.
Because I mean, at the same time, why would someone just go around throwing salt at buildings?
What's been going on here? Someone's broken into my cabin and searched through all my things. The amulet. Where's the amulet? It's been stolen. I don't believe it.
Did you find the amulet?
That's a long story.
Stolen? How did that happen?
No idea. I hid it in my cabin during the crossing. Someone broke in and rummaged through all my luggage.
Was anything else missing?
No, not a thing.
Someone must have been following you.
I didn't notice anyone. Who could have known?
That's because
I'd
you're
been looking for an
incompetent.
Amulet in that godforsaken dump.
Certain people may be taking a great interest in your investigations, Mr. Halligan. Do not underestimate the power of the Druids.
Fantastic. I'm just so glad the Salt Arc is over. Never again does the game have so many back-to-back dialogue trees that you have to answer in a very specific order that's ultimately pointless. We don't see those characters again, and we don't go back to the castle. Having a weird timer, borderline sneaking section is a terrible idea, and the threat of a soft lock is always looming over you. What I find noteworthy is that characters who don't know Halligan yet are either polite or just kind of, cordial with him. Without fail, Halligan will then take advantage of them to do God knows what. It makes the entire beginning of the game fall perfectly into place. Halligan's coworkers know him. They're perfectly aware that Halligan thinks more like an insect and will screw them over at the first opportunity. They alluded to a ton already.
You eat pizza in your office, and I go to the cinema with Janet. That's the way things work.
Back on track, Blake explains the villains are actually called Neo-Druids.
Say
Blake hypes them up as
losers.
essentially being Deus Ex villains and implies that they're running the Illuminati. Back to the yard to research them.
Halligan, into my office at once.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Come on in. I suppose we should be glad that you drop in now and then.
What's the matter, Chief?
You know, Halligan, I was just asking myself what you've been doing.
I've been investigating, Chief.
Well, have you? And do you know what I've been doing? I've been dismissing loads of press people, worried citizens, and politicians from my office. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since this morning. The mayor's been to my office, and I haven't seen much of you. When do you expect to come up with results?
Very well, then. I was visiting an expert on druids.
Hasn't it been like one?
Halligan, have
Hasn't
you
it
lost
been
your
a
marbles?
full
You're
day?
not supposed to be indulging in your hobbies. You're supposed to be solving the skeleton murders.
Is that all, Chief?
No,
Damn.
that is not all.
Is that it?
One of the
I had shit to do.
this morning was from the 4th district in Oxford.
Uh-huh. And?
A beggar has been to see them. He claimed that somebody had first put him to sleep and then robbed him. And do you know who that person was? No? A man who calls himself Detective Halligan. Our colleagues looked into the central personal database and guess what? They found a man by the name of Detective Halligan. And he works for my department. What do you say to that?
Holy shit, I did not see that coming back.
When did you receive the phone call from our colleagues?
Oh, less than
Why
half
would
an
you
hour
tell
ago.
him your
You only idea how
name?
embarrassed I was about the affair. The colleague I talked to said that the beggar still had some of the substance he'd been knocked out with. Medical alcohol with apple juice. Halligan, please tell me you didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with it, Chief. Honestly.
Well, I hope so, for your benefit. From now on, I expect you to start looking into the case at hand.
Chief, the beggar must be mistaken. It's a mix-up.
A mix-up? I hope so. If these
But he
accusations
mentioned you by name.
you can spend the rest of your professional life washing police cars. And get
When
out
he
and
go
do
to
your job.
jail,
And Halligan,
he poisoned
if I should
somebody.
hear that you are conducting your investigations in any dubious or illegal way, I'll take you off the case immediately.
Understood, Chief.
Halligan is officially on thin ice. Let's check his voicemails.
Brent? Hello? Is that you?
Oh, I thought this said rent.
I haven't heard
It's like
anything
was
from
it the
you for months
landlord
now,
from
Brent.
Spider-Man. Just called rent.
That any way to treat your mother?
Oh, God. That's all I need.
He's ignoring his elderly mother? What?
Hello, sir. This is Al's Pizza Palace. Your account from last quarter has not yet been paid. It amounts to 275.
Wait a minute, you have a
Please see to it within the next
you have
few
a
days,
tab
otherwise we will
with a
have to
pizza
stop
place?
serving you.
£275? Wow, that's my personal record.
Okay, stop. The smoking
this
problem
dude's
seemed
a piece of
ridiculous,
shit.
but Halligan has a pizza tab. Is there such thing as a pizza tab?
Yeah,
I like it
what?
a lot, but that's a different level. Since Halligan mentioned the Bank of England earlier, I used their inflation calculator. Halligan would now owe about $600 in pizza money. Combine that with a carton a week, and how is he not dead? His boss also left angry messages, and the Deus Ex druids left threats, but that's not nearly as interesting.
Like,
Halligan
oh,
is
he
still
eats
locked
his
out
pizza.
the database, so puts together an elaborate plan. He'll have the chief sign a requisition form from our pencil sharpeners. Under that will be charcoal paper, and under that will be the real information form. Two major problems. The charcoal sticks out and can be seen, and Halligan is Halligan.
Do you know how to operate the copying machine?
Yes, I do.
But you're not going to tell me, right?
You really are a clever boy, Halligan.
Alright then, we need to get the scissors.
Halligan,
What?
Yeah.
Why?
might I ask you what you think you're doing?
Why?
I just wanted to borrow your scissors.
Why did he do that?
Just for 5 minutes.
Forget it.
Don't make such a fuss about your blasted scissors. I won't break them.
Oh, you won't break them, Halligan. You'll lose them, mislay them, not bring them back. You'll do with them
Does
what
Larry
you always
do
with anything you lay
any
your hands
work?
on. I am determined not to lose anything ever again, Halligan, especially not to you. Do I make myself clear?
That's justified. Lowry's
Yeah,
scissors might
because
be the only thing
Hannigan,
left binding him to the
Halligan
material
is
world. Getting them will
Halligan,
mean trying a new tactic.
whatever, is kind of a piece of
I've
shit.
had enough. Get your paws off my scissors, will you?
Third tactic. Halligan may be locked out of making outside calls, but he can still call within the department. So using the angry boss voicemail, you can trick him out of his office. Just another normal day in the Scotland Yard. The deed is done, and the chief falls for it.
You need new stationery again? Halligan, you'll lead this department to financial ruin someday. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. No, sir. It's nothing extravagant. I could do with a new pencil sharpener, that's all.
When will you learn to take better care of your things, Halligan?
Finally, database access. Even in movies where cops are being set up to take a fall, they have less obstacles than this. Just point me to the nearest radical druid.
Somebody once filed a complaint against Lord Sinclair for disturbing the nightly peace.
Is that all?
That is not workable at all.
Oh, some months ago, a gardener was killed on Sinclair's estate. The murderer was never found. After the murder, Lord Sinclair and his order were under surveillance for some time, but there was nothing conspicuous to be found.
Is that all?
That's interesting.
This is starting to seem like an investigation almost. It's a genuine surprise after so much nonsense.
Halligan, where are my scissors?
I've no idea. I thought they were on your desk just a minute ago.
Don't lie to me, Halligan. I know you've got them. And what was that business with the chief all about?
How have they not just started brawling in the office?
Let me make myself clear. I hate that kind of thing, Halligan. I've had quite enough trouble with the chief for one day, thank you. Now tell me what it
Yeah,
is.
both y'all are fuck-ups.
Really?
Then get out.
Halligan shows surprising foresight by making a report copy for Melanie. And wouldn't you know it, an old friend is there too.
Hello? Haven't seen you for a while.
You get lost, you crook. You nicked all my pennies. Me last 60 pence. It's bad enough I get robbed and the police do nothing about it. Now you coppers are nicking the stuff yourselves.
Hey, you shouldn't see it like that. Let's say it was business. I really needed money for the phone, and you got my lovely homemade schnapps in return.
There.
This does show Halligan's not a complete psychopath, but instead justifies
You
his
still
actions.
poison
That could
somebody,
actually
though.
make him scarier. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
The
that.
Sinclair estate could have the answers.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I needed the phone, so I poisoned you. I drugged you and robbed you.
Lordship does not receive beggars, salesmen, and police officers as a matter of principle, sir. Besides, Lord Sinclair is not at home at present.
Damn it. Now, there is a hedge on the right side, but there's a fence and it's electrified. Halligan can't scan through physical objects yet. So going to the other side, you meet a kindly gardener. He's very friendly and open about anything suspicious he's seen. It doesn't amount to much. He has heard therapeutic scream exercises out in the backyard, though. What a helpful man. Of course, Halligan would think to start a raging wildfire. That way, when the gardener runs for help, the detective can steal his hedge clippers. It's like getting a scissors
What the
upgrade.
fuck?
Good thing, too, because you'll need both to breach the fence. And as Lowry predicted, the scissors are destroyed. Getting through the fence feels like being at the DMV, but once you do, you are rewarded.
Oh,
How do you do, Mr.
what a
Halligan?
bullet.
How nice
I mean,
of you to
gun to
visit
your
us.
head.
You know my name?
Certainly. Lord Sinclair has been expecting you.
Why he just let you in then?
Is that boss of yours some kind of psychic or what?
Why don't you ask him that yourself? Let's go.
They walk all the way to the door in this cutscene. I'm skipping it.
Oh, well, you know I'm a cop, right? I mean, yeah,
It is a great pleasure to
I'm
meet
trespassing,
you in
but
person
still,
at
I'm a
long
cop.
last.
Were they trying to jump scare?
You know I'm a
Pleasure's
cop.
mine. Would you mind telling your charming pet gorilla here to point his damn pistol somewhere else?
Please forgive us this precautionary measure, Mr. Halligan. I happen to be a distrustful man. Jack.
The fuck is up with your bone structure?
Lord
Were you a
Sinclair,
Neanderthal?
Now that we've met, there are a few questions I'd really like to ask you.
Certainly, certainly. After dinner I will
Like a
answer any
Japanese
questions you
anime
need to
villain.
ask me. Until then, please be my guest. Jack, please be good enough to show our guest to his chamber.
Chamber.
You
I'm
don't seem to be quite aware of the situation
not.
you are
He,
in.
like I've been like I'm not spending the night.
I'm a
What?
detective from Scotland Yard.
It takes Halligan 2 straight minutes of conversation to understand that he's being captured, so I'll spare you that. You're in prison, so do you click the bed to pass the time? No. Instead, admire the artwork. You keep admiring it. It's famous. So night falls and Halligan attempts an escape. Part of it is logical, part of it is moon logic. For example, removing a nail from the wall by using an entire painting. I'm amazed at how much I still don't accept this in adventure games.
What was that?
There's somebody coming? What
The
was
escape
that?
works and kind of looks like the Resident Evil mansion. There's no sign of
It kinda
Palpatine, but you do
does.
find armor of his from the 1400s.
It looks
He
a
must
lot
be one
like
of
the
inheritors
Resident Evil
super
mansion.
babies that the demon druid made. The table is also prepared as promised. There's still not much to go off of except for pictograms of strange symbols and these drawings on the wall. The gardener did say that the screaming was out back, so that's the place to look. And there is something to see.
Hey, what the?
He even runs like a fucking idiot. You mean to tell me nobody saw his ass running all the way up there? Is he about to pass out? Oh, that is annoying as fuck. Sheesh. I had to probably turn the video game off.
Mr. Halligan, I don't believe I have introduced you to the gentlemen of my club yet. This is General Myers of the British Army. Next to him is Bishop Stevenson.
Sinclair goes through all the Druid Illuminati members. Don't worry, we'll never see them again.
Oh.
As it turns out, they were waiting for Halligan, who has wasted no time before eating.
As you may have noticed, the meat we are eating at this meal has a rather unique flavor. It is human flesh, Mr. Halligan.
Yo, dumbass already. Well,
This flesh
he is so
the
fucking
source of life
dumb.
force, grants us strength and power.
They like how nonchalant he said, oh, this is human flesh reading. Mr. Hannick. Like,
It will be grander than any feeling you have ever felt.
but he's not a, like I say, is he a druid?
He's still eating
Stop.
it. But wait. Okay, there could be a few things happening here. Is Halligan under mind control? Does he not care about eating human flesh? Was he just not listening again? Is he trying to trick them? Could this all be a Five Nights at Freddy's prequel?
A world ruled by druids.
Or they just didn't want to have him do any other motion, so they just let him keep eating. The developers.
For a moment, Mr. Halligan. We had even made plans to put a stop to them by arranging a little exit. But you are a very lucky man. You will witness the great day yourself, and you will be there on the right side. For by eating this flesh, you have become one of us.
You can just keep hearing his 4K, his play. He just keeps eating.
Mr. Halligan.
I'm not sure if worrying that Halligan will sniff you out makes you incompetent, but letting him join you 100% is. He won't be such a good druid
Why
when you
is
see your
he-
phone and pizza bill.
so he's just
now it's up to Melanie
accepted
to solve
this?
the mystery of the druids. She's a lot smarter than the human beetle Halligan is, so I like her chances.
Wow.
She follows Halligan's report, immediately figures out that they're lying, and then breaks in herself. There are some rocks in the ground. That's cool. I can just break for the window.
Stop right there! Hey, what is that?
Leave me alone, you bastards!
Well, there's no need to be that upset. What are you doing here?
What are you doing
Are
here?
you looking for something?
I
She got through the hole in the fence.
Oh, little lady, you shouldn't have done that. Now Lord Sinclair will have a surprise guest for his dinner tonight.
What? What are you going to do to me?
You'll find out soon enough, sweetheart.
Just beat that. Oh, wow.
That's creepy.
Y'all rape her? What the fuck going on?
I didn't mess with this in editing. It looks like I'm stuck. Well, oh.
Mr. Halligan.
yo,
God, I'm
dumbasses.
so glad to see you. What are you doing here?
I'm preparing dinner.
You're having dinner with Lord Sinclair? That bastard got me locked in here. I really don't want to have dinner with someone like that.
You're not being asked.
What? Mr. Halligan?
So is
everything all
he...
right with you?
Come with me, Miss Turner.
Where?
Is he
Into the
just
garden.
evil now?
I have to prepare dinner.
In the garden? Mr. Halligan? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
Come with me, Miss Turner. Dinner will be ready soon.
Okay,
And you will be our guest of honor.
seems like he's under some type of control now.
What? The
A
end?
few days after this
Game over.
conversation.
I
Oh, a
would say this
skeleton.
game has a bad
She
ending.
d-
Pardon me. I meant an ending where you can lose the
So
game.
they ate her?
Guess I'll try that again.
Listed as
Of
missing.
course, this was a sneaking mission. Using the rock you found, you can distract the guards all the way to the front of the building. Now you can move into the window.
Stop right there!
What? How?
What? How the fuck do you see her? Oh, I've known
You
this
have to hide in
game.
the second bush first. I don't know why. She gets in, and this room is more Halloween appropriate. I'm still processing how 0 to 100 the violence got. I think the screams distracted me from just how fucking brutal it was. Maybe that can set a radical shift in tone. This room is full of wonders.
That looks interesting.
Oh, wow.
Neat, but it's not important. Neither is the skull totem, the sacrificial blood altar, or the bone bucket.
Yeah, none of that
Instead,
shit's
there's a more
important.
clever puzzle. Significant parts of the painting line up with a safe combination. And wouldn't you know it, the amulet is back, along with a parchment I can't read. It could be important to Plapatine, I just don't know yet. Maybe Blake can know more. So we head down to... Uh-oh.
Mr. Halligan. God, what a relief.
Oh.
What was that for?
Oh. What the fuck? If you don't elbow the dude in the throat.
What are you doing here?
God, stop it! What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize me? Brent, stop it!
If you don't hit him right now.
You have something he needs for a puzzle. Your life is over.
You don't seem like you're even trying to fight.
That is such an understatement. I do like how they played shocking music
That
scenes,
is.
like Halligan doing that is supposed to be surprising. Him doing that's not a shock, the whole game set it up. He just does whatever he wants.
What happened?
Brent, is that you? Do you recognize me?
Of course I recognize you. Bloody hell, what's going on? Oh my god, I'm feeling sick.
Probably all that human flesh you
Hit
ate.
you over the head. You were acting like a madman.
Wait, I just have to get it together for a moment. Oh, Melanie, you can't imagine what I've gone through here.
You? Someone died. In fact, you helped eat him at a late brunch with Count Dooku and the White Glove Society. Halligan claims eating the human flesh messed with his brain. You can't be mind-controlled before eating the mind control poison. Still, kind-hearted Melanie accepts his story of alleged mind control for why he was slapping her.
Open the door! Open it at once!
The guards, Brent, they're at the door. We
No
have to
shit.
leave.
Open the door! Jack! Get the key!
Yeah, Melanie, I think you're right. We really should get out of here. And we should do it now.
No shit.
Yes, thank
Wow,
God.
he
I've done
teleported?
a lot of abridging, far too much invisible work to really count anymore, but I did not edit that at all. That's the big escape.
We have to go, Melanie. Now.
Where?
To Mr. Blake. If anybody can tell us something about the incidents in this house, he can.
Okay, let's move.
How about you get a warrant? Like, this dude kidnapped me and
Well,
and like
so
poisoned
I'll
me.
try to condense it. Essentially, he starts raving in a series of Jaden Smith tweets. Something about how druids think time and space is bullshit. A nearby ruin called 12 Bridges may hold the key, but it's uncertain. He can't translate the parchment yet without a rare book. He suspects that Sinclair's trying to stop people from time traveling to stop him. That'll help tighten up our story. Time travel? Fuck, I can't read it. So Halligan goes off to the Oxford Library while Melanie goes home to do something. They don't say, so I'm guessing they just didn't know what to do with her here. Well, Halligan shouldn't have a problem because the Bodleian Library is the second largest in Britain. When I was in school and for work sometimes, I would use their online database all the time. They have mountains of good information. So when Halligan goes in, he's gated off by one mean librarian who won't help him. You could try to look for the book manually, but...
Like, bitch, I am a detective.
The library does have a single
If
computer.
American television has taught me anything, when detectives come in, they just flash their badge and they get anything they want. They can't search without a warrant.
Halligan can easily fish the lock
But
open
in
with
like
the wire from that
public
electric fence.
spaces,
You remember
they
that,
can
right?
get into.
The wire. The one right down there. Shockingly, you can go back if you missed it, but wow.
What's going on here? What are you doing to my car?
Me? I didn't do anything.
Well, the car alarm's not in the habit of going off by itself. Here, what's this? Someone's been fiddling with the door handle.
Well, it wasn't me.
Well, I don't see anything.
That's why I'm just standing
You really
next to your
think I'd
car.
break into your car and then just stand around here waiting for you?
Yeah, that'd be kind of psychotic, wouldn't it? What you should do is plant a library book on him first. That way, when he tries to run out, he'll trip the security alarm and get detained. Now that a confused old man is being sent to the spice mines, he can finally look up a library book. You would think that'd be the end of it, but no, it's their reference copy. You're not allowed to check that one out. So go back, disguise it with a different book jacket, and now you
Are
can
you
get it.
serious
The new
with
book
all
makes
this
the
shit?
librarian instantly friendly. A lot is weird about this scene, but I want to keep it moving. Blake gets the book and begins the translations.
It's the
He
most
also implies that
nonsensical
Melanie may have
game I've
feelings
ever
for
seen.
Halligan. Could it be love?
I'm touched at your concern.
Now,
Told you
don't
she's
go
the love
imagining
interest.
things. After all that's happened, it's only natural that I should be worried about you and Mr. Blake.
Nah, you
Apparently
want
the
this
something
dick.
she was doing was a little more than nothing. She stopped by the Scotland Yard and
He's
saw
I
this
know.
person
I know how
dressed
these
for burglary.
things go.
Even worse,
We're both
Halligan is now officially
heterosexual,
off the
man.
force.
You're a woman.
Don't tell me he's handing the case
Obviously,
back to that
we're
thick-headed,
love interests.
big-mouth Lowry.
I wouldn't know. All he said was that he expects you to hand the file to him as soon as you get back to the yard.
I certainly will not. This business is just too important to let go. I don't care what the chief says. I'm going to carry this case through on my own.
What's going on out there?
The fuck was the earthquake? Oh, they throwing salt at the house.
Leave me. Get out of the danger zone. Here, take the parchment and go.
What happened to his voice?
Mr. Blake.
Yeah,
Let's get out of here.
You get out of here. I'll follow you.
Oh, it's back now. So they're gonna leave an old man in a wheelchair and not push him out?
Get out of here. Quickly, run.
Well, especially when they wait till the last second to get out of the fucking. Oh shit! A fireball.
I believe you have something of mine, Mr. Hannigan. I shall give you until sunset to give my property back to me.
The random intense violence is gonna keep me on edge. First, the man is randomly carved up alive, and now without warning, someone could be completely obliterated by a predator drone strike. I didn't think druids would have that kind of thing. What is the mystery of the druids anyhow? The killings? We know they're doing that. How long do they stare at the explosion?
Yeah, like this.
Oh, God! Mr. Blake!
We had to
I
come
have to
back
go
in.
back and get him out of there.
Are you crazy?
I'm pretty sure
Don't
he's
go.
dead.
It's pointless. You can't help him anymore. He's dead.
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God, what an inferno. Let's get out of here, Melanie.
Like it was not like it just gets set on fire. There was an explosion.
No, that's not a good idea. The chief inspector's waiting for me there. We have to try to move the gate of the worlds. If we want to stop Sinclair, we have to stop those who gave him his power 1,000 years ago.
You believe in that gate of the worlds thing? It's just a myth, a fairy tale.
The question is not
I'm
whether
like,
I
bitch,
believe
someone
it.
just hit this
The
house
question is
with
whether
a
we
fireball.
have any other options.
Time travel is the only way. And now things get emotional.
Could I ask you something personal?
That depends on just how personal it is, Brent.
What did you think of me when I first came to your museum?
What did I think?
Oh, God.
Brent, do I really have to tell you?
Of course you don't have to, but I'd like to know.
I'll tell you, but only if you promise not to be angry with me.
I tell you, a piece of shit.
Well, do you promise?
That's not a choice. I have to know.
Okay, I promise.
I thought this unshaven bloke's wearing a totally unfashionable coat.
What? That's what you thought?
Yes.
And was that all you thought?
You ask a lot of questions, Brent. I think that's enough. for a
Yeah,
start.
that's all she
Are you
thought.
married?
Oh, well,
Oh, boy.
Was that too private a question?
Yes.
Really? Are we talking about this right now?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't have to answer.
It's all right, Brent. I was married. I got married as soon as I was 18. You know.
Melanie reveals she was in a socially pressured, borderline arranged marriage. He spent the entire time yelling at her, treating her like trash, and cheating on her. Even after finally gathering the strength to divorce him, he continued to harass her for years. No wonder she hated
Sheesh.
strange calls. Damn.
He even waited for me in front of the museum and swore at me. I had to call the police.
Oh, God, what a psychopath.
I feel bad for her, even as I puzzle my way up to the castle. Who would think the game would take such a dark and heavy turn? Anyways, then they time travel.
What the fuck is going on?
In time.
Do you really think so?
Uh-oh, here comes company.
Why don't you have a gun?
Panic. Let's find out what they want.
Ooh.
They've been the past maybe 30 seconds and both are captured. Look, even the menu has gone back in time.
They immediately just beat your ass.
Look, John, the Danish whore's woken up.
Point 1, I'm not a whore. Point 2, I'm not Danish.
Do you hear that? She's got a sharp tongue in her head. If you're not Danish, what are you?
Oh, this one goes on a while. Look, they're not very good guards.
What? John, you numbskull. I thought I told you to go to the market and buy some provisions.
Why me? Blast it. Let her go. The lazy so-and-so.
Do you want to
Let her get what?
What a fool you are.
Don't call me a fool.
Wow, they make Hannigan look like a fucking genius.
I said, don't call me a fool.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Melanie offers to make them both love potions, and they accept it. In fact, they demand it. I always thought love potions worked the opposite way. You give it to someone to make them like you, not you drink it to like them more? The puzzle is to instead knock them out with poison. This is all a little familiar. Maybe her and Halligan would make for a good couple. Oh god, I think I'm starting to think in Halligan logic. It is amazing the guards are doing this and not expecting to be poisoned. This is a deceptive puzzle too. You need to figure out what herbs make what colors in water, then combine the colors in the right order to make the poison. That doesn't seem too bad, except sometimes this happens.
Now it's turned into a brown slop.
Oh, I failed. Dump that out. Start over. Except not
Sheesh.
really. Messing up makes the brown slop, but also when you're doing the correct recipe, that'll also make a brown slop. That is so deceptive.
What?
The water in the bowl is absolutely clear.
So the guards get chaliced and you're free to go in the basement. There is a front door, but there's
Stabbed
no
him in
getting
the
out of it.
fucking back.
This really is one hell of a rat's nest. Where are we anyway?
Melanie needs to remind Halligan that they time traveled. With Halligan freed, they then escape through a secret tunnel, which looks a lot like a maze. Thankfully, it's not. Just go wherever.
There's not a glimmer of light here anywhere, Brent.
Oh!
What was that?
The fuck?
Are you still there? Brent? Brent, this isn't funny. Hello? Is that you, Brent?
Oh, the Castle the Evil Mansion showed. I believe this makes for Halligan's third imprisonment.
What
Though
the
with all he's done
fuck?
so far, he should probably be
Yeah,
in one a lot
caught
longer.
again?
I'd break my neck climbing down there.
We have been expecting you. We need you. You are the one all our hopes are hanging on.
What's that? You've been
Just
expecting
beat their
me?
asses. All these people are suffering
Of
from
course he's the chosen
malnutrition.
one. I wish I could explain more, but it's never brought up again. This is Maglor, and he claims to be a good guy. An evil druid named Surston has taken over the Order and is preparing the evil infant ritual. Halligan and Melanie will be executed if they don't stop him in time. So once again, you're a prisoner, but free to wander wherever. There's lots of storage rooms, a kitchen.
Crabs. They're for snobs.
There are a lot of rooms here. I have no clue where to go. I am flying completely blind.
You? What do you want?
I take it you're Sirstone.
Why you got your desk like that? Won't you have it like in the center?
Just to let me kill him.
Oh, this is Sirston, the big bad guy. He just hang out in the office.
When the great day has come, and the ritual has been perfected, your lives will end.
Why don't you just kill us right now?
You are indeed lucky to
I'm
be
like, oh
allowed to
really?
live.
I grabbed that
A few more
candle
days,
and stabbed him right in his
Brother
eye.
Magor spoke up for you, and I was incapable of refusing him his wish.
Is it just me, or does he sound a lot like Balthazar Gelt?
There is nothing you can know.
I guess that's.
You can bargain with.
Oh,
I will not enter into
is this
any
still what you're
deal
talking
with a
about?
useless creature
Alpha
like
Shuck.
you. I will grind you
He
underfoot
does sound like that.
if it pleases me to do so.
We will milk
That is
your
all you may
swords.
expect from me.
He does
Now
sound a
get
lot
out
like
of my
him.
sight.
Shit.
Good grief. There must be hundreds of candles in here.
Okay, I'm still lost.
Except Balthazar was talking a lot of like we said we may not all survive. I'm like, why would you say that to your soldiers getting ready to go into battle?
Get out!
One moment, please. Just one short moment. May I ask you one more question?
You do not need to ask questions. It would be a waste of time answering you. You would not understand the answers anyway.
Okay.
Well, there is a front door too, which means even more to explore in the courtyard. There is a smithy, complete with a tortured Gachimuchi blacksmith in it. He could help with the locked door somewhere, but his furnace keeps going out. I have no idea what to do outside, so I go back in.
Brent!
Where have you been? I was worried about you.
I was just having a look around, and then I ended up here in the library.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm okay.
Melanie, we're in pretty serious trouble. What on earth are you doing in here?
Reading.
Didn't she tell you that?
Really interesting books in here, Brent. Take this one, for example. It's a book on the monastery's history. It was written by Christian monks. It says...
Hold on, Melanie. Before you start your academic lecture...
Oh, you such a
Please
piece of
listen.
shit.
He knows about a secret escape passage, but it doesn't register with him. He has more in his mind.
Melanie, could I ask you something
Oh my!
personal?
Will you stop?
Do you really think this is the right time?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No, probably not. But who knows if I'll ever get another chance to ask you.
Well, what is it? I'm curious.
If we ever get out of here alive,
Yes?
would you... I mean, could you ever bring yourself to...
Go to Al's Pizza Palace for a pizza with you? Yes, I think I'd like that.
Hey, how did you guess?
Yeah, what?
Do you know Al's Pizza Palace?
I've never been there, Brent, but when I went to Scotland Yard to look for you, I took a look at your office. I couldn't miss the boxes.
Oh, I see. A bit untidy in there, isn't it?
You could say that.
It could use a
I should
woman's
try and
touch.
tidy up in there sometime. But you'd come with me?
I told you, yes.
Oh my god!
Right.
This dude
It's a
is-
deal. I'll remind you about it.
Okay, Brent. I'm looking forward to it. But it might be an idea if we try to get out of here alive first.
Yeah,
What do
you know,
say?
get back to your
course.
own
I'm
time.
sure we will.
Like maybe you
Even
should
after all
do
this
this
happened,
later.
I still find this kind of cute. After this, Halligan fucks up a bird's nest.
It's kind of
outside.
cute,
The
but it's
blacksmith could make a
highly
duplicate key,
inappropriate.
but you'd need a mold of the original. The castle may be large, but I
It
can't
just,
think of
it
a
just
place
shows
to
like
check.
who the fucking putz Halligan is.
Get out!
I'd
I'd
like to
like to
watch
stay
you.
and watch.
I understand. You wish to see for yourself what lies in store for you. Is that it?
So if you keep annoying him, the big bad guy just lets you wander around.
What
You find his key hidey hole.
in
so you can
store
start
for
the
him,
tedious
just
process of
sitting-
copying it from
sitting
here.
at your
Trust
desk?
Me, you're not missing out.
I said, do not disturb me.
So finally, you have the key to the underground area. At first, it seems like relief, but this is the worst part of the game. It's a maze. It's a huge maze. Yeah, look at his face. Me too. Every time you go in a door, it seems to spit you out randomly. I thought the lanterns could be a hint, but no. Those runes in the wall must mean something, but you don't get new ones until you know you're progressing. And you won't know you're progressing, because you'll go higher or lower or to the other side, and it seems at random. The farther you go, the more doorways open up. The chance of screwing up just gets higher and higher.
Oh, this looks like it
Sheesh.
might prove a little difficult.
Made this
Use a
game.
guide. There's no shame. Especially when you figure out that to complete the maze, you need to go back the way you came 4 times.
Well, I should
including
say,
doing it twice in a row at one
why?
point. So walk backwards twice, but you're making progress. A lot of people were calling
I guess
adventure
you
games
think
dead in the
they
early
think they was
2000s
making
for some
something very
reason. There's no
profound,
escape passage, but you do find a crystal ball that can show any
but
moment
it'd be
in time.
remembered for all the
Adjusting it
wrong
means
reasons.
mastering an ancient Celtic calendar, but you can just copy the one upstairs. Then mess with the smaller values. You automatically skip the maze on the way back, too, which is a nice surprise. At this point, I never expect mercy. So if you do it correctly, you'll see the ritual and the magical
we were made to
staff.
suffer.
Telling good old Maglor creates a plan. If you steal the staff, there can be no ritual. Halligan will need to escape the castle first, though.
Anyone wishing to leave the monastery is blindfolded and guided by Surston himself. Nobody can leave here without Surston.
Where are they? Bring them to me!
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Out there. I think I heard Surston's voice. He's looking for us.
Y'all look. He looks the exact same as the other
Lock the
guy.
door, and then let's get the hell out of here. But we've got no alternative but to jump. Now hold on.
What the fuck?
Lord of Metal!
Do you hear that? What is it?
This is a guided missile.
That was close.
What about Maglor?
Yeah, like fuck Maglor, I guess.
Maglor, are you hurt?
Maglor, are you okay?
He hit me in the back. You are on your own now.
I'm paralyzed with my neck down.
Die? Tell me how I can help you.
You are wasting your time.
Don't act the hero. What do I have to do?
There's mistletoe here. In the forest.
Mistletoe.
You could try that. It heals severe injuries.
Oh, so you're the opposite of
Mistletoe? What's that look like?
Boulder. Boulder.
Okay. Don't give up. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, it's right there. It's lucky you landed right next to it. The good thing he actually knows what mistletoe looks like.
I've got the mistletoe. What do I have to do now? Maglor?
He's
Maglor!
dead.
Damn it.
He's already gone. Learning empathy from his travels, Halligan gives him last rites.
No, I
Just
think he's
continues
robbing
looting the
him.
body.
Yeah, it's
The
like-
last section of the game is pure puzzles. There's really nothing noteworthy about it. It's basically the ending of the Fifth Element, just much dizzier.
Wow.
Not here.
Dizzier than the ending of the Fifth Element?
Let's wrap this up. The sacred elements are assembled and the staff is free. As always, things can't be that easy.
What are you doing?
Melanie!
Whoa.
Brent! He's going to kill me!
Let her go.
Oh, shit.
She hasn't got anything to do with this.
Well, where's...
I came here on my own.
You have something that belongs to me. Give it to me.
Wait,
now!
what?
Brent, do what he says!
Is he supposed to be there?
When he has the staff,
Oh,
he'll kill us both. Listen, Sir Stan. I'll give you the staff on one condition. You must swear that nothing will happen to either Melanie or me afterwards.
What?
I'm sure he a pinky
That
promise.
is your condition?
Swear on your honor.
It doesn't mean
He has
anything
no
to
honor.
me whether you sad creatures live or die. If you really want to hear it, I swear it.
On your honor.
He doesn't... he just literally told you I don't give a
Now let
fuck.
Melanie go.
Give me the staff.
I'll put it down here as soon as you let her go. Come here, Melanie.
He is a great magician. His robes are white now.
His robes were actually always right.
The ritual may begin, but first I will take care of you two.
Yeah, what'd you think he was going to do, you idiot?
You miserable fools.
It's too bad you don't have a gun. Oh, shit. He's Back to the Future in them. They ceasing to exist.
Whoa. Nah, they're just back in the future.
My God, the ritual. We must get
guess
to
I was
Stone
right.
immediately. Sinclair is going to
Technically.
complete the ritual. Come on, Melanie. We've got to try to stop him. Sinclair!
Mr. Halligan, have you come to witness our finest hour?
All these problems could be solved if he just had a
Most
gun.
welcome to come and watch.
He could have just shot all of them in the head.
Damn it.
He put a force field around himself.
The time
You probably shouldn't have drew attention to yourself before you like try to stop them.
None of the powerful items can stop the ritual. Not the amulet, not any druid artifacts, nothing. Nothing except for broken hedge clippers.
Oh.
Brent! Oh.
Does he know what he did?
Sestan! The vow is broken!
Wait, what? I'm confused. I mean, I've been confused, but it's even more confusing. Is he under control again? Like, what the fuck just happened?
Now the Druids never existed or something. Honestly, Halligan is the best member of the Scotland Yard. No one else could have done this. He saved the day in his own psychotic way.
How did he know that would work?
Have they gone now?
Yes. Yes, they've gone.
I mean, you could get her some help. I mean, that's like a shallow gut wound.
Brent, am I going to die?
Nonsense. You're going to be just fine.
And
Just
she's
like bleeding
next.
Phil, I'll go and get help.
Next scene, she's dead.
Don't leave me, Brent. It's cold here.
Okay, she's going into shock.
Melanie.
You fucking idiot.
There's one last trick. Halligan has the mistletoe, and since the dinner party, he's an ordained druid.
Oh, really? So he can just do magic now. I guess he fucking collapsed that castle with salt. I mean, but that was before the dinner party. What kind of mistletoes is it? Okay, this some fucking Harry Potter universe shit or Lord of the Rings.
What did you do?
Pull some weeds out of the ground and rub them on your asshole, and that cures hemorrhoids.
Brent,
I mean, she basically have to now. You saved her life.
That's catchy.
Please tell me, is this? Okay, did he make this? Somebody else probably made this, another YouTube channel or something. Oh my. This is awesome. Oh, okay, so because somebody else made this. I was like, this can't be actual in the game. I think. The hell was that? I would love to see Halligan and
First time playing it, I felt like I was being poisoned, but I liked it a lot. The writing gives so much attention to little details that stack
Special
up.
Agent
There are
Francis
these
York
puzzles
Morgan
at the
like
same
going
time,
to
but it
adventure
doesn't seem to
together.
matter. There's a ton of
That
subtle
would
dry
be
humor throughout the entire
the most
game. Once again, this is
ridiculous
abridged. There are
game
so many strange things
in
that
the
just couldn't
history
make the
of
cut.
video
If you really
games.
want to play it, it'll be less than $1 in the pinned comment for a few days. With some cleaning up, I do think it could be an adventure game classic. Everything about it
Oh, you
fascinates
do?
me, but there's some tedium that could be cut down. Who knows? Maybe if enough stupid demand is made, they'll do something with the franchise. Probably not, but it's fun to think. Anyways, have a happy
I
Halloween.
ain't gonna lie. I would
Stay
like to
safe
see
out
them
there.
like
Hopefully now when you see
repolish
face,
this
you'll think of so much
this
more.
game
I might go lie down.
like they did
The
with
more I think about it,
Daily
there's a lot of
Premonition.
parts I
Like
could
go
be okay
lie
with
down.
forgetting.
You probably suffering from a brain aneurysm playing this game. She has a cut. The kisses.
Halligan's life was pretty drab, racking up debt with the pizza tab. Then his life got flipped around when they found the bones on the hollow ground. It's the mystery of
The mystery of the Druids. Oh man. I don't even know really like I was thinking like who made like, I mean I know who made it, but like I said, what's why? Like when, in the process, maybe at the beginning, you don't really know, you don't really have the full picture. But as you're making this and it's starting to come together, like somebody should have some questions. Unless this was the plan. This was the idea. But I don't know. It's the most it's very interesting. And I almost want to play it myself. Just to experience it. Because of watching Mandalore gaming review of it. But at the same time watching his review, and seeing him go in depth about I don't want to deal with a lot of that bullshit. like I hate games like that where you miss something and it does like it basically like stops the progress later on, like, oh, you didn't find this, and I'm like, what the like how the fuck was I supposed to know? It's almost like you have to look at a playthrough or read a playthrough or something to get through it. Somebody who, you know, spent hours going, like missing stuff and going back, or unless the game developers put out a playthrough so you can use that. But I don't usually like doing playthrough because I hate looking back and reading stuff. Like my brother, he used to do that. I think he still, when he plays games, he still kind of does that. Where he'll have like a whole thick ass guide for a game. He'll be like reading it, going through it. I don't like usually doing that like my first gameplay of a game. I'll do that other gameplays where, okay, I didn't get everything, so let me go back and look through where I missed the stuff at. But oh man, this game. I'm just like flabbergasted. I don't really know what to say that I didn't already say. But I like I said, I would love to see like Francis York Morgan from Daily Premonition in this game, kind of like a crossover, because they're two ridiculous games that both go into where they have two investigators. And that's it. I think Francis York Morgan is a lot more competent than Halligan. But to see them like together, I was like to see them together investigating. So the both, like I said, both their stories go into like basically like I guess witchcraft type direction. You know, he's like, oh, I'm looking for a killer. And then I'm like, oh, but this people were worshiping something, and this killer has like, I don't want to say magical powers. But the end of that game is very confusing, Deadly Premonition. But it's magic involved, basically. And a cult, basically like a cult, which is like this with the Druids, and you got magic actually being a real thing. I would love to see them come out, especially since they just did they ain't just do it, but they did I don't know if it was a sequel or it was like I think it might have been a sequel because I think it was called Deadly Premonition 2. Like, what was it 2018, 19 or something like that? So that would probably, like, I would like either do a updated version of this game or do like a crossover. Like they're not doing anything with the rights to this thing. I mean, well, at least this anyway. What Mystery of the Druids? Like I said, what's the name? Deadly Premonition has a lot more of a cult following than Mystery of the Druids, but I would love to see. I just want to see Holligan. Is it Holligan and Francis York Morgan just in a just a buddy cop thing together. Oh, but anyway, yeah, I don't even know what to say about this. But besides, why? Just why? I don't. It's like someone was brainstorming. They had a general idea, and then you start just throwing other shit in it that you thought was interesting, but it wasn't cohesive and didn't make sense in what you were already doing. But you were like, well, no, we're going to do it, and that caused it to just veer off and not make sense. But it's more so the relationships between the people that don't make sense. And I'm like, this dude Holligan is completely incompetent. He kind of just stumbles his way into winning. It's almost like, oh, I mean, he might as well just say, I'm the protagonist, I'm going to win. And he just succeeds. You know, that's kind of the way it happened. Then he gets the girl. Well, like they could have just had this story because they had no chemistry whatsoever. So I don't even know why. Like it's like I don't know. It's that like movie trope where it's a man, a woman, and they have to be together. Like why? I think the first movie I ever saw where that didn't happen and surprised me was Blade, where they had literally no like sexual chemistry, I should say, and they didn't at the end and just randomly, kiss one another. So it was just like it like it wasn't needed. And plus Blade wasn't even about that. He's like, I like to kill vampires. That's my thing. I don't care about pussy. Plus the other one we didn't see to be like she was all into him, all that much. So I was like, it wasn't necessary. That would have been completely unnecessary to try to force that. It was like here, they just, it was a man here, and we modeled this woman with like tits, big tits poking out like a couple of rusty cannons on the sucker ship. And like a kind of a nice ass on the model. So of course she's gonna be a love interest. Like the size of titties are basically the indicator of whether this woman is going to be a love interest for the male protagonist, or if it's vice versa, if it's a female, based on like his like build. If he has like an athletic build, slim athletic build, I guess depends on the time period, long hair or spiky hair or some shit. Like that's gonna be the love interest if the female is the main protagonist. Yeah, you just look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's the first thing I thought of. Well, there's countless movies like that, but or another movie comes to mind, the remake of Friday the 13th with old boy from Supernatural, the tall one. Like when he was, from the trailers, but when they were talking, I was like, oh, she's a love interest, but something unexpected happened in that was a shock. So to me, that kind of saved that movie for me because I did not expect that. That was a twist at the close to the end of that movie with the protagonist that I did not see coming. But anyway, Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction one. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell. You'll know if I'm uploading the videos. Comment down below. Share this video. See y'all next time. Peace.